Right now, let's get to Crypto Outlook section as a continuation of previous episode. And we are getting straight to very interesting statistic of how much the cost of mine one Bitcoin is in every country. And we can find that the diversity between the cheapest and the expensive Bitcoin is really, really huge. Let's look at Venezuela. This cost of mining one Bitcoin due to high prices of energy is at $246,000. Whereas, for instance, in Ethiopia, it's just $7,000. That's why we cannot really straight ahead find what's the real true cost of Bitcoin. There are many indicators, among them which the one that is kinda reliable is this Bitcoin on-chain cost basis, that within which we may find that we are right now just dropped to the levels being indicated by those moving averages that right now we may cross to the middle one, but still the delta cost basis marked by red is still untouchable. That's why many investors are expecting the price to go even lower from here. But when that will happen, that's still unknown. Maybe if the bigger recession come to the markets, there might be another ride downwards. But when it will happen, we supposed to hang on a little longer. That's just because recent indicators are showing that there is not such a threat as of now. DeFi market commentary from Consensus, that's very interesting, showing recently that DEX volume, the centralized exchanges volume, that is a little bit more risky and less user friendly due to its user interface, is right now and still at the satisfactory level. We are just have been found at a half of where we were back in May. During this slump, that's kind of a comprehensible, but we are not much far from where we were back in August of 2021. That's why there is still hope that this DEX mania, whether it's on a Uniswap or PancakeSwap or Dodo, will eventually get back this time. But for now, Bitcoin needs to gain another attraction from investors. Without this, the interest in DEX volumes won't appear significant. Recently, we have found that SEC, Security Exchange Commission, has really got into crypto's regulations. US government sections of a key Ethereum application, Tornado Cash, shows the need for anonymizing tools in crypto. That's what an advocate says. But right now, the SEC is trying to get these solutions off the market, but with such of an interest into kind of anonymizing your transactions, that narration shouldn't really disappear. The time where the markets are really pushing some narration forward, it really also entails many of investors, many of users that are interested in such of a solution, and furthermore, that the systems that are trying to drag down by the SEC are getting more resistant and I would say regulation proof, where when it happens the software within cryptocurrencies have a tendency to morph and evaluate more and more with the necessity to come. So that's I would say the tornado cash in that manner could be dragged down by the SEC, but the solutions being already used out there will be brought over in the time to come with maybe a new software, maybe a new improved solutions, but this idea, this decentralized idea of anonymizing your transactions and also swapping between chains with kind of a easy manner will stay here for long way. All right, and the market movers section is right now showing that inflation rate in China has surged by little. It's still very low level of 2.7 regarded of where we are in Europe or in the US. So China is still going through this possible crisis in a kind of a good manner, and inflation rate from Germany is showing as consensus has expected at 7.5%. In US we already discovered it. It was 8.5% with an expectation at the level of 9.1%. So it was kind of a positive surprise. And on Thursday we have very important PPI from US, as well as GDP growth rate from UK on Friday, with inflation rate from France with expectations of 6.1%, so a little bit higher than it was recently in July. Right, so that was economic calendar. Let's get back to earnings season, and earnings right now showing that Coinbase has slided after revenue falls short of expectations amid crypto winter. So the market is expecting a little bit more tough time to eventually come to cryptos, but those earnings are the outcome of what already happened back in quarter second of 2022. But in the months to come, this tendency may revert eventually. That's why I wouldn't really stick right now to those outcome that already been what already been spoken, that already been discounted by Coinbase price on the market. And also Tesla is expecting a 3-for-1 stock split that will take effect on August of 25, and that's also something that hits up many investors. That's exactly what usually bring splits. We were expecting the stock split on Tesla back in 2020 to bring more popularity to the company by many investors, and that eventually happened. And right now we are also expecting this split to bring more interest in investors that already are considering Tesla as a possible investment. Usually, average performance of companies that have announced splits since 1980 was in more than 12 months at 9.1% for the S&P 500, whereas for the stock splits 25.4%. So it's a kind of attracting for new investors to head for Tesla and hold it for a little while. In terms of earnings calendar, right, yesterday we had Kronos Group and the Trade Desk that expected to the downside a little, but today we already have Disney to publish, and CyberArk software that was better than expected. On Thursday we have Canada Goose and Acelerex Pharmaceuticals. In terms of trade idea, I have for you a chart of VIX. I would say it's not maybe the one that is highly tradable by many investors, but that's the one chart that deserves some block revisions time to tell about. So right now we have dropped to the 20ish levels. That means that we have just got over of this long-lasting since October trend within this symmetrical triangle. We were trying to get through this 40ish levels that eventually didn't happen, and right now with this break lower of today we are eventually trying to tell the market that this recession fear is already over, and we might have start a possible party of a risk on party now. With this Marubozu being built right now, we still haven't really end up of closing this candle. However, it already looks like there is a definitive voice of the market that should go on a VIX lower. That's why this Dixie tendency, this dollar rising tendency may revert for longer now, and we should have a relief from here. For those that are trading VIX, there is expected to rebound from this candle being built, but because it's just a very strong sell-off that should get a little bit eased, and with this one being tested of 21, I would find the possible trade idea to the downside. So if the VIX will get back to this area of 21, around 21 level, the possible short area could get us back to 16th or low 17th. That's why the risk-reward ratio is at 1.7. That's why I do find that some of you may not be very interested in this one. However, if you are tolerating a little bit risk, a little bit more risk, I do find that this stop loss position, the stop loss order may get switched to levels of a little bit closer to the top of this candle at the level of 22.58. That's why I usually used to put it a little bit more further above recent candles in order to avoid any noise, any market noise, to stop me from the move forward downside. So if you are a little bit more risk tolerant, you may push the stop a little bit lower, at around 22.5 even, but with less so with my tendency, I would put it right where the risk reward ratio was, at around a bit lower than 2 points. So remember about putting a stop loss, as I said, or at least the alerts around the area if you're taking that risk. And if the VIX won't hit this price levels, I wouldn't find this trade suggestion as a valid one. So that's it in today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the live edition on Thursday, right before the market open. See you there.